How's it going, everybody? So there was another small patch this week to fix a few issues, including a Kensei balance change. I hesitate to call it a hotfix as nothing was really broken, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So the Hitstun values were reverted back to heavy for the most part. So let's go over them real quick and then look into what this does for the unblockable mix-up, and then the two specific instances that the devs mentioned in the patch notes. Alright, Kensei continues to have light hitstun on the lights. That includes the pommel strike light as well as the normal chaining ones. Helm Splitter, the forward dodge light, remains a medium hitstun. It used to be heavy throughout all those previous years, but the devs decided to keep it medium for now. Since it is not enhanced, we don't really have any instances where medium block stun is of any relevancy, only if you have revenge or the opponent is out of stamina. And then the heavy hitstun. All heavies, the normal attack chains as well as the dodge heavies, are now back to having heavy hitstun, and thus heavy block stun is relevant again as well. For all the exact values here, you can check the info. Now, what does it mean for the unblockable mix-up? Light hitstun remains unchanged, so yeah, nothing changes. It is interruptible with a light. You can feint the unblockable and parry that light, but it is a small window which won't allow for much error in timing, or rather no error. Soft feint to heavy is blockable after the light interrupt. Soft feint to light will trade because of the hyper armor. Whether it's in your favor depends on the damage of the opposing light. And medium hitstun, like I said, this is only really accessible from a landed Helm Splitter. The unblockable itself trades with a light interrupt. I'll trade 34 for 12 to 14 damage any day, to be honest. The interrupt attempt is once again parryable, this time with a slightly bigger window. The soft feint to heavy on light function exactly the same as on light hitstun. Then heavy block stun, after any blocked second heavy or dodge attacks really. It pretty much functions like medium hitstun. Interrupt is parryable, soft feint heavy is blockable, and the light will trade. A soft feint to GB also loses to dodge attack attempts. It is a funny interaction with some specificity to it, as it depends on the dodge attack speed. In this specific case here, if the Kensei soft feints to the heavy, which will obviously lose to dodge attacks because why wouldn't there be a massive overlap? But not only that, the dodge attack will land during the hyper armor, which means that the full recovery to blocking will play out, which allows for another light to land. This is nothing new really, we had that a couple of times in the past, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Now then, heavy hitstun, what everyone's been waiting for. There is no interrupting or trading, the unblockable just wins. Light interrupt is also parryable, and this time you have the full parry window. Both soft feints do work, the heavy will trade, but the light will not, it will hit even earlier than the opposing one. Then what about against dodge attacks? The fast GB soft feint and the heavy hitstun combined allow the Kensei to grab dodge attack attempts. But that in turn loses against the light interrupt, so pick your poison. What button will your opponent roll their face over? Enough of the unblockable. Let's go for the two reasons the devs gave why the hitstun got reduced initially. First, because the current heavy hitstun makes it impossible to dodge the finisher side heavies after being hit. As you can see, heavy block stun lets you dodge just fine, but if you get hit, then the attack is undodgeable. Just in the sense of the word, it doesn't have the in-game property on it, so please don't confuse that. What this also does is that characters with deflects or superior block frames on the dodge can continue to dodge into the indicator and successfully avoid it like that. I don't think it's a big deal, we have had similar instances on various characters for years now, and it's just something people need to learn that it exists. It's not really a big deal. And then dead angling. Let's use this opportunity to explain what this means. I'm sure all of you have used side attacks to hit people next to you. Kensei has very big hitboxes, including his lights, so it is a very common thing to do. Dead angling means combining Hitstun together with these big hitboxes, so you can confirm a light after having connected with a heavy, or anything really that applies medium or heavy Hitstun. The recovery to block is 600 ms on both. In Kensei's specific case here, what you do is lock onto a person behind your current target and then drag your light hitbox through your previous target. You make your light attack hit earlier than usual that way, and ideally you hit them in that 600 ms window where they cannot block just yet. This requires good positioning on your end and enough oversight to lock on to the correct opponent, if even is one. I understand if people dislike this sort of mechanic, but I don't really regard this as a big issue. It requires quite a few things to line up properly, so it can't be done all that often and consistently really. But yeah, that's it for now. Now for a shout out for the Brawls tourney this weekend on the 29th. Walush is hosting one and all the infos can be found down below. Everyone's rushing to get out their cross-platform tourneys really. Go participate for some nice prizes. Or just go watch, that's what I'm going to do. All the info down below. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.